Good evening, everybody. अरे सर मत बोलो यार. Okay, I'm Karthik Panigrahi, rank 63rd, UPSC CSE 2021. Everybody's comfortable? English is okay और हिंदी में बात करें? ठीक है मिक्स कर लेते हैं, जैसे आता है जैसे वैसे. Okay. So, I have done my graduation from Sri Venkateswara College, DU, done my post-graduation also in history from Hindu College, and I'm pursuing my M.Phil from Department of History, DU. My optional subject, as you might have guessed, is history, and presently I live in Delhi. I have done my college here, so I prepared here. I live with my family, which has helped a lot. So I see a lot of eager faces here. Hopefully you all make it. So pehle I will go over some basic ground rules which you have to get through. Okay, first and foremost is yourself. You always have to have confidence in yourself. हमेशा खुद के ऊपर confidence रखो, motivated रहो. Never appear in an exam hall without 100% motivation. 100% with this feeling कि this बार I have prepared well, इस बार मैं अच्छे से कर पाऊंगा. This is my third attempt. In both my previous two attempts, I did not even make the prelims. My first attempt, I was not even 100% sure. And I'm emphasizing it more because there are a lot of things which you will feel that maybe this time vacancies are more, maybe this time parental pressure is there, maybe peer pressure is there, and uske wajah se you might think, I should appear this time. Don't make that mistake. Never ever get swayed by anyone else but by yourself. हिलना ही नहीं है. The only person who matters is you. Result तुम्हारा होगा, success तुम्हारा होगा, failure तुम्हारा होगा. No one else is bothered. ठीक है. तो मेरी जैसी पहला अटेम्प्ट जैसे मेरा हुआ, never ever make that mistake. दूसरा अटेम्प्ट I made a problem in strategy. I'll go over there in a while. Second is have a very strong support system. एक support system अगर होता है, then you feel that हाँ, सपोर्ट सिस्टम का मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमेशा फ्रेंड्स हो, हमेशा ये हो. हाँ, एक चीज़ है कि पीपल से यू हैव टू कीप अवे फ्रॉम एवरीबडी, यू हैव टू स्टे अवे फ्रॉम सोशल मीडिया फंक्शंस, ऑल दिस. बट अ सपोर्ट सिस्टम मीन्स हैविंग अ गुड फैमिली who support you, having good friends who motivate and who give you the strength to go through failure. There is always a chance, there is more chance rather कि इस एग्ज़ाम में फेलियर मिलेगा. तो उसके लिए जो स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए वो सपोर्ट सिस्टम से आता है. ठीक है. तो दैट इज़ नेसेसरी. ये नहीं है कि हाँ ये वट एवर यू फील, अगर फील हो रहा है कि सोशल मीडिया छोड़ना है तो देन दैट्स ऑन यू. यू कैन डिसाइड कितना प्रेशर है, कितना क्या है, कितना वो है. ठीक है. एंड थर्ड एंड द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट इज that the market today is so saturated with material कि you have to know more than what you have to read is more, you have to know what you don't have to read. क्या नहीं पढ़ना है वो ज़्यादा important है क्या पढ़ना है वो जानने से. Because most of the people make this mistake कि अगर मैं ज़्यादा बुक्स पढ़ूंगा तो मुझे ज़्यादा चीज़ें आएंगी और मैं ज़्यादा अच्छे से करूँगा. That is not true. रिवाइज 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 एंड रिवाइज अगेन. जितने बार हो गया उतने बार नहीं करना है, जितना आता है वो. ठीक है. देखो, दीज आर द बेसिक ग्राउंड रूल्स. ये जैसे मैंने बोला ना, आईपीएल खेलने से पहले ऑक्शन होता है. वरना फिर अगले साल कब आएगा, अगले साल कब आएगा चिल्लाते रहोगे, ठीक है. यू नो द रेफरेंस, इफ़ यू नो द रेफरेंस यू विल गेट इट, ठीक है. तो हाँ, जैसे हाँ, दिस माइट ऑल्सो गेट टू द पॉइंट कि कुछ एक, हाँ, एक चीज़ रख लो विच माइट गिव यू सम डाउन टाइम. खेलना है कुछ, सम टाइम टू योर सेल्फ, मेडिटेशन करना है, योगा करना है, जिम जाना है, ठीक है, वो कर लो. बाहर बाहर घूमने जाना है, गाने सुनना है, मूवीज़ देखना है, कुछ भी कर लो, ठीक है. तो हैव दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. सो नाउ आई विल गो इन टू द स्पेसिफिक्स ऑफ इट, ईच पार्ट ऑफ इट, ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट इफ वी बिगिन फ्रॉम prelims, ठीक है, this I feel personally is the most difficult part of it, especially now if you have seen the paper, it's becoming more and more unpredictable. पिछले साल 3 क्वेश्चन स्पोर्ट्स के थे, no one expected anything. This year a new, completely new format was introduced, no one expected anything. So they are always trying to outthink you who is preparing through traditional means. जो मिल रहा है वैसे हम प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ये कंप्लीटली हमेशा चेंज कर रहे हैं अपने आप को, ठीक है. तो यू हैव टू स्टार्ट बाय लुकिंग एंड एंटिसिपेटिंग देयर मूव कि कहाँ से पूछेंगे. आई शेयर अ पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. दिस हेल्प बिकॉज मैं हिस्ट्री बैकग्राउंड से था, तो आई सॉ द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम 2019 बीइंग आस्क्ड फ्रॉम अ स्पेसिफिक बुक. तो वो मैंने 2020 के लिए पढ़ लिया एंड आई गॉट ऑल क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ठीक है. तो यू हैव टू स्टार्ट डूइंग योर बुक्स एंड इन अ वेरी इंटेंसिव मैनर. पर्सनली स्पीकिंग, एक स्ट्रैटेजी बनाओ जिसमें इफ यू डिवाइड द प्रीलिम्स इनटू 5 सब्जेक्ट्स, ठीक है, देन 2 सब्जेक्ट्स और मे बी 3 सब्जेक्ट्स should be such where you can answer 90 to 100% of the questions with accuracy. जाना ही नहीं चाहिए, यहाँ मार्क्स जाने ही नहीं चाहिए. What this will do is this will help you do around 40 to 45% of the question paper right. तो यहाँ आ जाएगा, you are safe there. Intensive preparation as in mains level preparation. Preferably if this includes your optional subject, then well and good. Say history or pol science or geography or economics. If this includes your main subject, then well and good. Optional subject, then well and good. उसके बाद जो बाकी बचता है उसमें if you get 40 to 50% questions correct, then you'll get through. You only have to get through. तुम कैसे करो वो तुम्हारे पे डिपेंड करता है, ठीक है. And if you are doing this, at least I believe you have a competitive advantage, because जितने intensively तुम ये सब्जेक्ट को करोगे उतने intensively बाकी लोग ना करें, तो that gives you a very good advantage. तो ये जो है this will take you ahead बस. And whenever you are doing this, never ever ignore CSAT, ठीक है. If you are a humanities background person, then you might have issues with maths, you might have issues with reasoning. मुझे भी हुए थे. I had science background in 12th, but I still faced difficulty in maths because I did not do it correctly. So you can use the same breaking down strategy for CSAT as well. There are 3 elements of CSAT. There's reasoning, there is maths, and there's comprehension. And you can do the same thing there. Pick one of them and maximize your marks there. वो पहले करो. Take 1 hour if you need. 2 घंटे में से 1 घंटा भी चाहिए तो वो कर लो. But do it with such accuracy कि हो जाए. You have very little to lose there, so you can give it all the time you need. उसके बाद once you sit in mocks तो तुम अपना strategy बना लोगे कि what has which weightage, तो किसको कितना time देना है. That will come. And then the third, and then the other 2 elements of it can be done the same way you do these questions. So what this does for you is breaking down helps you feel more organized and be more organized with how you approach. And in this way you attempt the optimum amount of questions you need to attempt. ये नहीं कि अगर तुम सब सब्जेक्ट्स को एक साथ करने जाओगे then you will lose very precious time and then you will feel I have probably attempted less questions, I should attempt more. और वहाँ पे marks चले जाएंगे. The ones where you have broken down or eliminated 2 options, 3 options, whatever, there you will feel, yes, I should take a chance, I should go for it. But then when you go for it, you lose marks there. After this, after you have done this, come back home, relax. Check, उसके बाद take a week off. Take a week off. ठीक है, take a week off and then decide, yes, if I'm making through, then I should probably start. For me personally, mains has been my strongest suit because my graduation helped me have a good grasp over subjective writing. Obviously, it's different completely because there we are made to write more pages. Here you have to be more concise, more economical. पर ये एक है कि एक subjective writing का practice आ जाता है. तो after this, for me personally, make plans. Weekly plan or even monthly plan. I would make weekly plans, but you need not have to make them. अपने हिसाब से करो. तो weekly plans के हिसाब से क्या cover करना है, क्या कब cover करना है, वो कर लो. If you are studying for 8 hours, say, more or less, whatever, doesn't matter, then divide the time for studying, then for answer writing and for self-evaluation. I believe all 3 parts of it are necessary because this will help you make more organized and assess yourself. Most important thing in this exam is knowing your weakness. Strength तो सबको पता है. You feel very glorified about कि हाँ हमें अपना strength पता है, हमें अपना अच्छा subject पता है. We know our interests, that everyone knows. Weaknesses you have to know and you have to confront them. जानना पड़ेगा क्या weak है. मेरे लिए for example geography and environment were weak. So you have to know what is weak and their self-evaluation helps. Even if you join a series or whatever, then still self-evaluation is important because this will only make you a better aspirant and who is more known, more familiar with himself or herself. So once you divide this, then weekends you can give for essay and ethics. And optional happens alongside. This study will include both optional and GS as and when. So your optional must be clear to you from the very beginning before you start the whole process. You don't have to dither बाद में डगमगाना नहीं है कि हाँ ये नहीं लेना है. Market rumors में ये है कि इस बार scoring नहीं है, वो है, ये है. You don't have to get in there. वहाँ जाना ही नहीं है. Filter all of those out. इस एग्जाम में important ये है कि कान में एक filter लगाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Unwanted information बहुत मिलेगा, वो सब कुछ निकालना है. तो once you do this, you can do essay and ethics in the optional. Newspaper strategy can be based on this as well. From the very beginning, the way you read newspaper should be like this, that you get the important information and fill gaps with material, whatever available. That is for the static or the dynamic part, the current affairs part of it. What else helps is that newspapers are also a very good source of quotes and anecdotes. These also come from newspaper. If you're reading the Hindu, I read the Hindu, then you will notice that Saturday a big feature comes just beside the editorial. It might take up a social issue or whatever, and there you can get a lot of anecdotes. Or on Sunday, there is also a feature where you can also get anecdotes. These help when you try to attempt an ethics answer or when you try to write an essay. So because examples, these two indicate you have reached the highest level of conceptual clarity for an answer. You have to realize that this can also come from newspaper. You don't have to scramble around in the internet. Internet पे खोजना नहीं पड़ेगा कि ये subject के क्या quotes हैं, ये क्या है. वो हो सकता है that you can supplement, but your primary anecdotes and quotes bank can come from the newspaper if you look for it. इसके लिए even small things which you might ignore help. Magazine, Hindu magazine हो गया Sunday का, then you will get book reviews there. You will get some long form articles on fiction, on other social issues, the first page itself. You'll get interviews in the back. वहाँ से भी हम कुछ source कर सकते हैं information. Everything is important. It's currency. ठीक है, तो कहाँ से भी हमें निकाल के वो लाना है, and that's how we get it. You have the entire paper at your disposal. वहाँ से कुछ भी निकालो. Personally speaking, you have to prioritize here also. Like I said there for prelims, you have to prioritize. Here you have to prioritize. Personally speaking, three papers. You can prioritize which one you want. But personally speaking, I prioritized essay, ethics, and optional. But if you're not comfortable in some of them, you can prioritize other papers, GS papers, according to your own wish. ठीक है, but when you prioritize these, especially for essay is basically, if it's a factual one, it's basically a long form GS answer. वहाँ मसाला डालना है बस, quotes, anecdotes, poetry if you want, if you are in the mood of it, वो डालना है. So that's how it comes. Ethics is the same way. कोई भी किताब ले लो, find the basic syllabus पकड़ लो, और जो वहाँ terms हैं, important जो terms हैं, those terms definition you can get and you can write. Devote a single page to each of them. Say ethics हो गया, morality हो गया, aptitude हो गया, empathy हो गया, neutrality हो गया, whatever. Write the definition, leave the page blank. As in when you get examples specific to that value, write them down. Say you found someone helping someone during COVID. That's an example of empathy. Write that down. Say you found ISRO trying very hard despite failures after and try to bring in a new project. Say Chandrayaan 3. You write that down as an example of perseverance. Tolerance, say write about Satyagraha. Or write about some other village movement happening. Transparency, write about state government or central government initiatives. You will get about them on the newspaper. Or how someone has used a certain portal to access more information and bring it them to the public. इसके सबके examples you will find in the newspaper if you read it regularly. After that, coming to optional, history, I will talk specifically about my optional, history optional. If any one of you is here, then they might find it relevant to their strategy. Okay, so first is, if you have prior notes, if you have a background, then well and good. तो जो notes पहले बनाए हैं वो निकाल लो. After that, sit with the syllabus beside this. This is the notes. This is the syllabus. And then when you sit aside and then decide that yes, हाँ ये इसके साथ बैठ रहा है, हाँ this I don't need to make notes for this. This is not with this, हाँ इसके notes नहीं हैं, then I have to make notes for that. So all of that will take its own time. उसके लिए give 2 weeks or 3 weeks. preferably before your mains preparation. But even if you have it left, then after that it's also okay. But don't spend much time there. After mains, you have to start answer writing immediately. Answer writing to har din karna hai, because time management is very important. So after this is done for optional, एक बार prelims हो गया, then every day you have to write 2 answers for optional at least. और वो 2 answers लिखने के बाद evaluate करो. Same do it for ethics also. मैं ये बोलना, I forgot to mention this, but this is important. Do 2 case studies every day. Do 2 case studies every day. Give 1 hour, 1 hour for each case, 15 minutes for each case study, and then evaluate for 15 minutes each. So 1 hour you can spend there. But then answer writing for history is important, and you have like 4 books for history. There's Upinder Singh's book for ancient India, Satish Chandra's book for medieval India, Shekhar Bandyopadhyay's book for modern India, and Norman Lowe's book for world history. And then wherever you have problems, you can find material online and you can fill the gap. Wherever you feel there is gap, or wherever you feel that your notes are not sufficient, and wherever you feel previous year questions have gone into much more detail. So after all of this is done, then you can decide, yes, my optional, at least the study part of it is over, and then I can sit for answer writing every day, regardless of the study period. And if you don't have time for answer writing, at least for GS, but you have to spend time on answer writing every day for optional. Every day. Even if you are attempting a series or not attempting one, you have to sit and write. Because there are a lot of marks here, a lot of things at stake, बहुत चीज़ stake पे है. तो you have to prioritize all of these things. Always you have to know कि क्या important है मेरे लिए, क्या मुझे एक advantage देगा. और advantage वही चीज़ देगी जो strength है. Weaknesses are to be known, but they have to be overcome. At the end of the day, still your strength will count. वो कहीं नहीं जाएगा. You know it, that's good. But that will only, that is the one which is going to help you in the end. Now, coming to the mains itself, the process itself, writing it, more important than anything is time management and health management. Throughout the process itself, but especially during the mains, because during the mains you have to sit for 5 days straight and attempt 9 papers. That's not easy. वो easy नहीं है. तो उसके लिए you have to do एक चीज़, you have to get the right amount of sleep and you have to eat the right stuff. उस टाइम पे एटलीस्ट खाने पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ मत करो, सोने पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ मत करो. 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ लिया तो कुछ हेल्प नहीं होगा. इफ़ यू हैव followed your weekly or your monthly plans, then you will not face any problems in revision. Revision हो जाएगा एक बार, but then don't neglect your sleep, don't neglect your food, because you will not feel fresh in the morning. और अगर fresh नहीं है तो you will face problems in your answer writing quality. And when you are starting, at least एक baseline बना लो कि what is my time limit usually. मैं 2 घंटे 3 घंटे में कितना क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर लेता हूँ या कर लेती हूँ. तो एक बार वो when you be honest with yourself, नहीं हो रहा है अटेम्प्ट, अगर 15-16 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं या 18 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, 18-19 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, then you have to work hard on that. Make an effort at least to write a serviceable answer where you don't know anything. A serviceable answer does not mean gibberish, it means something which is related to it. अगर नहीं आ रहा है, अगर if you don't know the entire process, तब आर्टिकल का नाम ही लिख लिया, या फिर स्कीम का नाम ही लिख लिया, या फिर हाउ द थिंग वर्क्स प्रिंसिपल ही लिख लिया. तो वो सब करने से एटलीस्ट यू विल गिव द इम्प्रेशन कि यू नो समथिंग, कुछ तो आता है. बट मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ टाइम, मे बी बिकॉज यू डोंट नो द एंटायर थिंग, वो पूरा नहीं हो पाया, तो यू विल गेट समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. ऐसा नहीं है वॉश आउट हो जाएगा, और ऐसा नहीं है कि इंप्रेशन खराब हो जाएगा. एंड ऑलवेज अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चंस विच यू थिंक यू कैन आंसर कॉन्फिडेंटली फर्स्ट. दैट गोज विदाउट सेइंग. तो बी ऑनेस्ट कि कितना टाइम लग रहा है, एंड ऑलवेज सिट विद अ वॉच. इन द मेंस व्हेनेवर यू आर डूइंग समथिंग, इवन स्टडिंग, इवन सेल्फ इवैल्यूएशन, सिट विद अ वॉच. साथ एक वॉच रखो ताकि यू आर रिमाइंडेड ऑफ द थिंग कि टाइम इज प्रेशियस. ऑलवेज एक एक मिनट की वैल्यू होती है. जब एग्जामिनर कलेक्ट कर रहा होता है उस टाइम की भी वैल्यू होती है. So once your mains is done, you don't know anything कि क्या होने वाला है क्या नहीं, but you might have a very broad idea about where I am going. कहाँ कि हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, you will have some idea. अगर लगता है कि अच्छा है, then you can start for the interview. So for the interview part of it, personally speaking, what I did was I talked to people I'm not familiar with. I know, but I haven't talked to them ever. Say, friends of your family, or neighbors, or even your teachers, or anyone they know जिनसे आपने कभी बात नहीं की है बट पता है कौन है. तो इससे ये होता है कि यू गेट कंफर्टेबल स्पीकिंग टू अनफेमिलियर पीपल. जब आप बोर्ड में जाते हो देन यू विल सी पीपल हु आर नॉट फेमिलियर विथ यू एंड यू आर नॉट फेमिलियर विथ देम. तो एक कंफर्ट जोन होना चाहिए कि हाँ आई कैन टॉक टू पीपल एटलीस्ट, कि हाँ एक ये है कि देर इज़ नो फियर, देर इज़ ये एक हाँ एक फियर रहेगा, बिकॉज दिस इज़ द लास्ट वन. दिस इज़ आइदर यू मेक इट और यू डोंट. इट्स आइदर फुल स्कोर और इट्स ज़ीरो. एक डर रहेगा बट यू हैव टू ओवरकम दैट. तो वो एक करना है. बट आफ्टर ऑल ऑफ दिस स्टिल यू हैव टू हैव अ कंफर्ट जोन. एक उसमें आना है. एंड देन you have to prepare very strategically क्या बोल सकते हो क्या नहीं. ठीक है. if you take your DAF, you feel it in a manner you are comfortable with. मेरी बहुत hobbies हैं, but I'm more comfortable answering questions in books and movies and web series, so I'll go for it. And you have to start laying down ways in which you get asked your preferred questions. For example, I wrote reading books as a hobby. Then I wrote it thinking that when they ask me what books do you like reading, I will answer reading on foreign policy, and that would lead to a question on Ukraine where I have prepared well. So you have to bring them towards places where you know. If for example I wrote web series but I'm more comfortable, but I watch Formula 1, so I said I watched the web series on Formula 1, so that leads to a question on Formula 1. I watched a certain movie, say on certain issue, on certain state in India, then if you are comfortable answering those questions, then go for it. You have to be very careful what you write. मन किया तो लिख दिया वो नहीं चलेगा, because you have to answer and you have to justify. बिना justification के कुछ मत लिखना. And whenever you are writing, and if you are writing stuff which cannot be changed, say school, college or whatever, okay, there you have to write and prepare well based on whatever questions that can be asked. Take the surname, take the college name, when it was founded, what's his status like, if it's under certain university, what are the goings on in a particular university, what is happening in the campus, what happens outside, what are the traditions associated with the college, who are the people associated with the college. A certain person associated with the college might have done something which might have brought the college in news. Then वो भी prepare करना है. You have to face it. They will ask you, most of you are from this college, so this has happened now. What do you think? I was asked a question about the new prospectus prepared by UGC for DU, because I'm a DU student, and on new education policy, because DU is one of those which is implementing the new education policy in earnest. So you have to know where is the potential questions. The best way for it is write answers, write question, write and prepare in a question answer format. Write the question, write an answer, 2-3 line answer, and then speak to people, to a mobile, to a recorder, or to yourself in front of a mirror, whatever you are comfortable with. So this only helps you prepare anticipated questions. Unanticipated ones, you just have to be in your comfort zone. You have to think. You don't have to get into certain places which might trap you, and you have to answer in a very smart manner, very very carefully. बहुत careful रहना है what you say. Everything, every word is important. I have done a lot of mistakes when I have appeared for interviews. I have made a lot of errors, a lot of blunders. Don't make them. ठीक है. We come here because you should not learn from us, but you should learn from our mistakes. जो यहाँ आता है सबने कुछ ना कुछ mistakes किए हैं, and they have rectified them. That's why they are there. So everybody will make mistakes. Not everyone is error proof. Some are, but you have to be very careful. ठीक है. Once you are done with all of this, once you have prepared it in a question answer format, even current affairs, then what you can do is you can go for mocks. You can appear for mocks yourself in front of a mirror, taxi driver style. But then after all of this is done, then you can prepare for the actual interviews. Then same things applies for mains. Get a good sleep, get good food. This is very very important. Don't neglect this. Don't neglect this. And keep taking care of your mental health. Whenever you feel the pressure, it's easy to lay back, or it's easy to share. Never take steps which you shouldn't. I think that would be enough, and hopefully all of you will be here one day. I look forward to seeing you here. Look forward to seeing all of you succeed. Thank you very much.